taste so sweet. You love me, bring me off of my feet. Yeah, your love is so sweet. Yeah, you love me, and the end tastes so sweet. Coming up on me, boy, got me excited. Coming up on me, boy, got me excited. Coming up on me, boy, got me excited. Got me excited. Got me excited.
Hi everyone, it's Killshot99 Gaming. This is Plated Live Stuff and Things. So this is going to be a little quicker stream. We're going to cover a few things. We'll talk a little bit about the squares, just some things going on, what's next. We'll get some chime in from the awesome training team. So I'm going to be fairly low energy tonight. No Red Bull because it's not going to be a longer stream. I don't have to be up till like 12:30 or 1 coaching and calling points and wall damage and all of those things. So we're going to jump around just some random topics and see who pops in, set you guys up. I mean, normally we have a game tonight. So, yeah, just going to hang out, answer some questions. I'll call on a few people. And, you know, Valar's in the house. She was the first one here. Hello, 999 Army. Kills Great Mods. Channel members, PDL players, sponsors, bundles, boxes, burn coin, kills coin. You know what I love about burn coin? Because the portal is so close. Craven wants to take Moon to the dungeon. You know, that would be, I mean, that would not be smart on a non-PDL night. So what do you guys want to talk about? Let's start it out. Speaking of not smart, okay, there are things that people do that are not smart, and then there's things that people do that are insanely stupid, right? Like stepping on a thumbtack without your shoes on. That's not smart. Cheating on Megan Fox is insanely stupid. that is the extreme. I've given you two extremes. You got one here and you got one there, and the second one is just beyond dumb. Okay, what is my man's thinking? So yeah. Couple other things. What did Legos? Yeah, I guess you could step on Legos. So did you guys hang out after the big game and check out? Did anybody watch Next Level Chef last night? I was trying to sleep, and then it was on, and I like to watch. I have not heard someone yell at somebody over food since I yelled at Sheila for putting her meatballs on a paper plate last night. So, yeah. And I immediately said I loved her. So, you guys know how I feel about paper plates. So, Gordon Ramsay. But were they good, though? I mean, I'm sure they were incredible. Sheila's like, I don't care about no paper plates. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Sheila's happy anyway, right? So, Sheila, how you feeling today? Okay, I do have to, there you go. And that's all that matters. You guys know I'm picky about some things. What you guys feel about, do you guys feel like Terry Bradshaw went a little overboard with the Andy Reid comments? I get they're probably friends. And friends talk to each other in certain ways. But man, that was like, it's almost like he forgot he was live in front of millions of people. Come over here, big guy. Waddle over here. Go get a cheeseburger after. I mean, yeah, not the best interview. I think they could. Andy Reid is awesome, but that was it was pretty rough commentary. So I thought. Any basketball fans out there? How many are basketball fans? How many of you guys are got a team you're pulling for? Any good trades? I mean, how'd you guys feel about the trade deadline? I see a few. Like, yeah, any college more. You know what? Crimson should be happy. Apparently, Alabama, #1 in college basketball for the first time in 20 years. Yeah, if I say like Alabama Crimson Tide, I figure she's just gonna jump out like, I'm here. Where are you at? Where are you at? Crimson, #1. Um, so college basketball. So I saw there's some controversy in the Duke Virginia game, and I got to tell you guys, there's some teams that are up there pretty high. There you go. I knew it. I knew she would come out. Watch your mouth. So, Alabama's good. Alabama is one of those teams that I don't think is overrated. But then you get to Houston. Sorry, Julia. I've seen Houston a couple times this season. I think they're way overrated. UCLA, I think, is overrated. Purdue just got beat. So I'm thinking Kansas is pretty good. We'll do brackets. So I'm going to pick. If you guys want to see the early, this is super early. I know Craven's going to take this prediction. He's going to go straight to the bookie. So I'm going to give you guys, write it down now. This is my college basketball final. Okay? Final 2 teams. And watching how the teams play, the talent on the rosters. Some Baylor's overrated. So I'll give you my final 4. And then I'm going to give you my champion. Zags, no. Zags, other than Drew Timme, they don't have enough to go the distance. There's a lot of weak teams out there. All right, my final 4. Alabama, who's #1 right now. Purdue, Kansas, and UVA, Virginia. And finals, Kansas versus UVA, national champions. UVA, Virginia Cavaliers, will take the national championship this season. So get your brackets, get your March Madness stuff ready to go. All right, so let's you guys want to do percentages? Check this out. Football squares. So here are the people that won in the football squares. And the percentages, I'm going to give you the percentages. Okay, first of all, you see all the stuff along the top. First quarter was 7-7. And that means we had Bones. I'm bringing the whole faction up there. I'm bringing the whole group. Bones won a box. And Julia won a box. How about that? Now, that wasn't terrible because they each had like, Julia had a 10% chance. Amy had a 7.5% chance to win. So that's not bad. That was some of the higher odds. So 7-7. But then the second quarter, 24-14, these 2 people won a box and a bundle. A box and a bundle. Moonshot with a 3% chance to win. Congratulations, Moon. And B-Dub with a 5% chance to win. How about that, B-Dub? 5% chance to win. And talk about odds, right? Turning that in to a box and a bundle. 5% and 3%. All right. And we get to the third quarter. Now listen to this one. This one is beyond crazy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in football squares, okay? J-Law, 1 square out of 200 and won a box. That is less than 1/2 of 1%. 1/2 of 1%. J-Law. And what is even more interesting, it was randomly assigned. It was just randomly assigned because we were at the end of the event. And then this person won a box, and he had 2.5% chance, and that was the animal. And the final score, the best was last. So this package here, it's like $250, right? This is a box and a bomber. A box and a bomber. You guys know how many squares you had. Craven Light had 2.5% chance to win. And Craven Light gets a box and a bomber in the grid. And then this lady had 1.5% chance, Busy Bee, with a box and a bomber as well. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So I enjoyed the event. I'm looking forward to the events where you guys see what you get out of those things. But first of all, a big thank you to all of you guys for getting involved in it. And some of you guys were pushing each other to get involved in it. And then some of you guys actually bought some of the squares for other people. And it was just awesome to see. And what's really cool about this, there were no duplicate winners. That's what I thought was really neat is, 8 different people won something. So awesome stuff. So we'll have that coming up for you guys. We'll make the announcement. To probably not be. I don't know. The box event coming up is already sold out. So that one's already reserved. So what we'll do is we're going to kind of get these in there so it's not all of these boxes at one time. So Kel and I will communicate, and we'll probably do like 4 of the boxes in one event and then 4 of the boxes in the next event. So, and some of you guys that pick up 2 boxes, there you go. All right. I'm not going to get into the unpopular opinion that I have because I am a fan. Not going to talk too much. I didn't love the halftime show. Some of you guys did, and I know I'm in the minority on that. Just there's a couple reasons. I'll give you guys my reasons. It's not for anything else. First of all, I'm a big Rihanna fan. So let me start by saying that. So I'm not a hater. I think she's incredible. Because I have such high expectations, I was a little disappointed because I thought she used it more as a platform to do something completely different and show off the fact that she's pregnant. So to me, I didn't love that. Okay. I want to see her at her best, a great performance. Number 2, there's way too much of her vocals in the back. And I want to tell you guys the difference between lip syncing and performing. So she's singing. The problem is, a lot of times she had the mic down and they were playing her vocals in the background. So some of it was live, some of it was, I won't say lip syncing because she wasn't lip syncing it. It's just her voice was playing while she wasn't singing. So I didn't love that either. As far as the visuals, the creativity, it looked amazing, but I didn't love that. So that was kind of my thing. Plus, the other thing is I wanted some people to be feated, right? I wanted to see. I mean, Jay-Z was there. Jay-Z is in the back with A$AP Rocky with their kid. You know, why didn't Jay-Z, you know, just for a little bit come out and we are, yeah, I said that we are. This is Black Nation, pledge your allegiance. I mean, why didn't Jay-Z come out and sing with her a little bit? So I want to see that. Or, you know, or Umbrella or something, right? You know, you don't have to bring Kanye out, but I would like to at least seen Jay-Z come out. So that would have been kind of cool. So by disappointed, I don't mean bad. I just mean disappointed. Like my expectations were higher. So I'm not gonna come out here and say, "Oh, this is a terrible halftime show," because it wasn't. It just wasn't what I'd hoped for. Like, let me ask you guys this question, okay? Those of you that liked it, if you paid, I don't know, tickets to go see Rihanna, probably cost you $500-600. Let's just say you were looking forward to seeing a Rihanna concert and you're waiting 3 or 4 months and you got the tickets and you went to the show and she came out and it was all about her being pregnant. You ain't spending $500. That was the mentality that I had. That's why. I know, look, we're sitting back, we're watching, it's free, so it's different. But if I would have paid tickets to her concert specifically, I would have been a little disappointed, a little bit more disappointed with that. They said the best line when they found out she was pregnant is they said the little, you know, at the beginning of it, the little dudes in the white outfits, they said that was A$AP Rocky's sperm. That was the best line of the whole thing. Like when they found it, because you know they're just like these little white things, like they're just running along the side of the field, and she's wearing red. So yeah. Anyway, I I got it. I cracked up at that. All right, so moving on. Commercials. Commercials. What'd you guys think? The commercials have certainly went down the last few years. Yeah, there were a couple. But for the most part, Flash trailer. I mean, I don't know what it was. Some people like the Breaking Bad. I thought the Bud Light commercial was the best one. I mean, to me, it was just the dancing in the Bud Light commercial. So that should tell you like how average the commercials were. I mean, it wasn't a bad commercial, but it's like there was nothing that I walked away from saying, "Wow, that's a great commercial." All right. Holding call. Slight holding call. Should have let him play. Too much of the jersey. What do you guys think? Let them play. So here's a couple things. Number one, I don't agree with letting anybody play. Okay, I don't like that. I don't think there should be ever a different set of rules in the last 2 minutes that do not apply for the entire game. So first of all, I want to say that. If you're going to call it at the end, call it the whole way. But I don't think all hell should break loose in a basketball game or any of those things. I know he admitted he did it. Bradbury said he did it. He said he thought he'd get away with it because it was at the end of the game. So when people say let them play, to me that creates an unbalanced standard. So it's either a hold or it's not a hold. And if you see it, call it. Call it from the start of the game, the middle of the game, the end of the game. So, and that's the one thing that I noticed with like the Bengals game, right? The Bengals and the Chiefs. They called it one way early and they called it one way late. So call it all the way through. So to me, take that in consideration. Okay, that's one thing. And you're right. Number two, he did admit it. He said, I did it. I grabbed his jersey. I just thought they would let it play. Okay, that's number two. Number three is don't ever assume that a team is going to come back and score just because there's a bad play. So let's also, what likely would have happened is Chiefs kick a field goal. They still take a 3-point lead, but now you give Jalen Hurts 2 minutes, whatever, minute and a half, 2 minutes to go down and kick a field goal, which could win the game. So we don't know they would have won the game. However, they may have. I mean, they would have been down, a couple points, go down, maybe kick a game-winning field goal. So it didn't end the game, but there was pretty smart play by sliding. And so often teams don't do that. They just go ahead, punch it in, get the touchdown, and then the other team gets a chance to go down and score. So smart play, I think, is McKinnon that slid down and just said, and look, Butker has had some trouble with some extra points and a couple things. So that wasn't a guarantee either. So let me ask this question. Smart play, things happen all throughout the game. We never know. But here's something I do know. If you're an Eagles fan, and some of you are, there were 2 plays that they scored touchdowns on. And when Bradbury did the holding call, they were basically running that wheel route a third time. And they had gotten burned on it 2 times before. So the field goal might have lost it, but to me, how easy were those 2 Kansas City touchdowns that they got? There was nobody within 6 or 7 yards. So if you're an Eagles fan, I'd say the bigger story is probably you gave up 2 easy touchdowns. And that's a lot of pressure to put on Jalen Hurts. Just my 2 cents. So you stop one of those 2 touchdowns. Yeah, one of them was Tony. That's one of the ones I'm talking about, Joe. It's like there was nobody within 5 yards of him. And this is an Eagles defense they talked about getting pressure on the quarterback and stopping people. I mean, they give up 38 points. In my mind, you give up that many points, anything can happen. So, yeah, it didn't feel like dramatic, like I was at the edge of my seat or anything. I think part of it is I wasn't really pulling for one team or the other. Yeah, that's a great point. So let me take you guys up to a little bit of recap to this one. So let's talk about, now I will tell you, if one of my teams was in it, I would have been super passionate about it. I'd been like, no, it's not a holding call. Or I'd have been like, if he wouldn't have grabbed him a little bit, Mahomes hits him for the touchdown. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it didn't matter too much because, one team that I'm neutral toward was going to win. And then I guess I leaned a little more toward the Chiefs than I did the Eagles, but either way, I'd have been okay with it. How many of y'all either played in the Clash kickoff or watched the Clash kickoff? Give me triple nines in chat right now if you either played or you watched on Saturday night. So when you guys get to the Max Awards, what do you guys remember most about this Clash kickoff? Like when you guys think like MVP of that game, was there one specific memory or play? The officiating was not controversy on that one. I think there was only one penalty in the game, and I think it was for a double item, and we marked it off into other teams' territory. Yeah, I think Villar throwing 2 interceptions, that was certainly, one of them was returned for a touchdown. One of them was a pick 6. So Villar definitely, and they were dominating, right, Craven? I mean, weren't they up by like 2 scores? Wasn't it like 21-7 at one point? 21-7, and then you end up 31-31, tie. Yeah, I mean, if I had to vote for MVP, I probably would vote for Sheila for MVP. I mean, she had over 200 yards running. And the blocking was pretty good. There were a couple plays that the Hellstone Lanterns, they would blitz. Amy pick up the blitz, and next thing you know, Sheila is streaking down the sideline. And then at the end of the game, both teams making their field goals. That was clutch. So I do want to give some thought to this. I had a great time. So a lot of times when we play these games or I create it's coming up with something brand new. So a little bit of it is the wind was horrible. A little bit of it is hit and miss. We do Clash, we do Battle Royale, and sometimes we're playing it and we don't know how the rules or how the gameplay is going to pan out while we're playing it. But yeah, this worked pretty well because drafting the items gives you a little bit of uniqueness to your style of play. It's so fast that you might be able to get like a word or two in your chat, like just cover somebody or something like that. You got 20 seconds and you're pretty much like on your own. So those of you that played, what percentage do you think you actually had time to strategize? And what percentage do you think was just do whatever? Because I saw some crazy stuff on both sides. There'd be like sometimes 4 people would be on the same person. So I know that was very little strategizing there. So I do like the play clock, and I like that it forces you guys to play fast. %75% was just do whatever. That sounds good. Yep, Craven's about the same. Okay. Good. I mean that's random enough that it's fun. Too quick to think of a plan. Good, because that's where your instincts are going to kick in. And much like football, right? You're trying to make a play or jump a route, trying to get an interception. So sometimes you're risking it. Good stuff. So we'll keep this in mind. We may test it again in the spring. If you guys like it, maybe we'll put together like a little mini league next year when people are hyped up about football, and put some teams together and maybe play every couple weeks or something like that. So we've got Clash, we got Battle Royale, we got box events. So maybe we can fit this in. And we'll see how it goes. All right. I won't keep you guys too long tonight. We're about 30 minutes in. I do want to tease a couple extra things though. Obviously we got the boxes. We'll talk about the boxes. So Wednesday night we've got Vox traveling to Arc. No Boss, no Cyborg. Of course, we canceled tonight, so this same format will be later on in the season, and it'll probably be a big game later on in the season because they were going to be playing for first place tonight. So you'll mark that on your calendar. We got super busy over the weekend, so Busy and I could not fine-tune, but I will tell you, we've got the initial iterations of next season's map. Beautiful. We're just getting started. There's some things that we got to add, but I think you guys are going to be very, very pleased with the extras, with where you're going to maneuver, all of the above. Joe, that's about as random in the middle of a chat about something else as we could possibly get. Joe's like, I missed the Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Squirrel. Joe, there's a squirrel. All right, reel it back in, Joe. Focus, pay attention. All right. So a couple of the things that we want to announce, kind of what the rest of our week, what the rest of our month is going to be like. So we are back in action Wednesday night. We got Vox and Arc. Friday night is going to be incredible. And then Saturday, we're going to do some portal testing, and we're going to need you guys to help us out again. Because I think crafting is amazing. And I'm going to ask Tammy. I'm going to ask Kel. I'm going to ask Julia. Just to type a line or two and tell us a little bit of what you thought about crafting. There's so many possibilities of what we can create for you all to create. So here's kind of just random stuff with crafting. Instead of using 25 of an item, we're going to switch when the portal comes out to relics. So a relic represents a certain amount of skins. So for example, a silver relic would be 10 skins. A gold relic, 15 skins. You get the idea. Stellar, 25. And it'll be your armor skins and your weapon skins. So while you guys are accumulating your skins, you're going to be able to trade those in and just have relics. So it'll be a creation. Come out of your inventory. But that's just the beginning. So the real challenge that I wanted to have is to make it more automated. Is now you guys will be able to get your skins, trade them into relics, and whenever and however you want, combine that relic to your gear. But that's just for the armor and just for the weapons. Now let's get into pets. So when we create the pets, we're going to create variations of every pet. So a new pet comes out, could be vessel, red vessel, gold vessel, mythic vessel. So all that will be put in on the back end. So currently you guys message me with this long list of items. So not only is it a lot of time for me, it's a lot of time for all of y'all to go in, look at your inventory, go through a data sheet. Okay, I got this many of this. I need to add this. Now I need to type it out, put it in this format, send it to Kills, and then I'm probably not going to see it in an inventory for 3 to 4 weeks. So now what you guys are going to be able to do is take that pet, take your relic, and craft an upgraded pet, and it's immediately going to show up in your inventory. It is game changing. So check this out, Kel. Can't even tell you how easy and cool the crafting feature is. Simple, easy, fast. Dimes, amazing stuff. It's easy. Gonna love it. Julia are gonna be blown away. It is probably the fastest and most efficient these developers have designed a new module. And we ask them for stacking. So there will never be more than 5 ingredients to make an item. And very rarely will you even have that many, but it gives us some versatility. So a lot of times it's going to be like 2 or 3. With pets, it's usually going to be a pet relic and the pet and then the upgraded pet. But there could be some unique pets now that we create. You got mythic pets. What if instead of just pets going vertical? Okay, what I mean by vertical is a pet becomes a red pet. A red pet plus a gold relic equals a gold pet. A gold pet plus a mythic relic equals a mythic pet. What if we go horizontal? So bear with me for a second. So this gives me more time and more creativity. Like if everybody puts a red relic on something, you all have the same pet, right? Does the same thing. What if we add a third reagent, like a gold ore, and we say a gold pet plus a mythic relic plus a gold ore creates a unique pet. Maybe it does something a little bit different, or maybe it randomizes. Here's what I mean by that. Cinder, okay? Cinder, red cinder, cinder does 20 points. Cinder, red cinder does 22. What if you can create a rainbow cinder, and the first rainbow cinder does 31? So it gives you something a little bit different or incentivize you. Now, it may not be a huge difference, but it also will create a little bit of competition or a little bit of verticals instead of just, or horizontals instead of verticals. Because the way we think about pets, we think about them in verticals. I got to get a red pet. I got to get a gold pet. I got to get a mythic pet. Everybody's got a mythic pet. Well, now your pets can be, they're not cosmics, but they will be unique. So just some additional stuff to think about. Crafting allows us to do all of that. Crafting changes everything. Because we get to decide what the ground level of crafting is. All right, couple more announcements. I see Angel. Hey, Angel, hopefully the Army is watching. So it's not date night tonight. Wednesday's date night. Just a casual stream for everybody to get a few of the cool things out there. So when I'm not working on inventory, I like to work on Clash kickoff, box events, items. So I'm working on some things. May even have a sneak peek of some things. Before I do that, though, I'm not going to go specifically into um, all the stories and everything because, I know immediately it's like, I want to be involved, I want to meet, I want to do, but hold all that to the side for a second because we will do a PDL event. But I'm going to say, a few people got together over the weekend and had a great time. So certainly the relationships that we build are huge. But I'm also privy sometimes to some other stuff that's a little bit deeper and a little bit more important. So let me, and I'm speaking in general terms, so I'm not trying to be cryptic and confuse anybody. I'm just going to say there's a lot of good things happen inside of PDL and as a result of PDL. Something that I never calculated, whether they're changing social norms, whether they're relationships and friendships that people never dreamed were possible. Um, it's just a really, really special thing when you hear some of the feedback and you think like, had we not done certain things 3 years ago, a lot of these bonds just wouldn't be possible. And I don't even know where to begin. I've heard, people that were sick and struggling through things, and this was their base. I've heard of people who were dealing with loss, and this was their base. I've heard from people who were dealing with relationship problems, and this was their base. I've heard that people had certain personality traits, and they changed their personality because of the people they associate with here. I've heard people, because of other people's generosity, have decided to be generous themselves when they saw people. The list goes on and on and on. So I know a lot of times in 3 years, right? We focus on a negative score or a game or a behavior or something that happened, and what do we do? And look, every game needs rules, and we have rules. But then when you hit the pause button on the rules and you start looking at, people's kids growing up and like I said, just a whole list of things I just said to all of y'all. Think about that too, because I didn't make that community. I made a game. You guys made the community. And it's something you guys should be super, super proud of. That watching it grow, and yes, some of it is possible without the other. But the one thing I know about PDL, one also enhances the other. Because some relationships get boring. Let's just be honest. And in our type of community, they become less boring. They become more exciting. You see parts of people in different situations. You talk to them live. Sometimes you meet them live. But then, they behave a certain way when they play on Friday. And then maybe they play a different way on Monday and Wednesday. So it's that combination of Play Dead Live and the community, because I think it's where a lot of y'all started. It's almost like you guys are just a bunch of real life Rick and Michonnes. You've got a path together. And it's really cool. So that's what I want to say about that. So certainly, when I hear the good stuff, I certainly I enjoy it. And what do you guys think? When Walking Dead hit season 10, season 11, you guys think we're early days at Play Dead Live? You think we're at the sunset where we're in the final seasons of Play Dead Live? Or do you think we're like high noon and we're just shining really, really bright right now? and we got 3 years under our belt, but we're still like infants. That we're just getting better and better and more creative and more involved, and we got a lot more to create, from the portal, from the gaming, from the items, from the competition, from the maps to the stories. I mean, it's from the football competitions. A lot of good stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'll show you guys just some things I'm working on that you might see in the future. As long as you argue with me and keep making content, I'll be here. I heard you make good breakfast. I mean, Kel said, Jason's quite the cook. Daryl, was he a good cook back in the younger days? He just ate it all. There you go. All right. Fair enough. All right. So, maybe we get a few oohs and ahs, but, just something to keep a look at here. All right. Favorite events. Leave them in chat right now. I'm going to wind down with a sneak peek of something I'm working on. Don't push me too much. I still got a lot I still got to do, because we want to do castle raids. We want to do battle royales. Some people love battle royale. Some people love the box. Put in chat right now what your favorite part. Don't put everything. Just put what your favorite part of PDL is, and then I'll give you guys a little sneak peek, hopefully something we can see in the near future. You guys have a great night. We'll close it out with just a couple songs, and again, I want to thank all of you guys for everything you do, whether it's supporting the game, boxes, bundles, playing, character record sheets, chats, committees, inventory teams, the stuff you do for free, the stuff you do that you pay to play. I mean, everything that you guys do. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can keep giving you guys something to show up, to look forward to, and have a good time. Have a good night, everybody.
Sometimes I write in couplets, sometimes I write in prose, sometimes I write in secret patterns that nobody knows. I wrote it all down in a letter, but it never got sent. I think I burned it in my bedroom. I didn't know where you went.
I wanna see the sunset over the ocean, feel warm sand between my toes, and have my heart stolen by a beautiful girl. I wanna kick back, relax and watch all the clouds skate beneath the stars and hear the waves crash to the beat of her heart. There's no one else around but her and me. There's nowhere on this earth I'd rather be. Sing it with me. But I never wanna leave this place. Wanna call it home. I'm gonna call it home. Maybe these will be those better days, and they feel like home. Yeah, you feel like home. Love the way she lets her head down when the wind blows her hair all around me. She knows I surrender to the way she glows, and I can't stop thinking about just how perfect this all turned out. No other word but free. Sing it with me.